What's going on, guys? This is my attempt at helping you get number 1 in Fortnite. I'm going to be showing you guys a lot of specific examples. This is going to cover the early game, the mid game, and the late game. And it's all about just staying cool and knowing what you need to do. Right now, the most important thing was for me to hit all those critical little spots, and then the structure breaks faster so I can get access to this gun. That guy messed up though. He ended up falling down or he lost his nerve. I'm not sure which one, but otherwise, he still made a mistake because he never came into the house right away and started looting it. Now he is in a lot of trouble. And this is where people make poor decisions, I'm going to say, at the beginning of the game, depending on how your drop goes. Even before you get to your drop, a lot of people aren't taking into account how their glide is going. Sometimes I have a place in mind of where I want to land, but the direction I took just will not allow me to get there efficiently. I would have to pop my umbrella earlier, or I would have to go on my belly so much that my drop time is really compromised. Things like that sometimes will dictate that you can't even go to the place you originally wanted to go. So if you need to abort, you abort right away. If not, try to kind of picture how you're going to get out of this scenario if things don't go quite right, like if you don't find the right weapon. Myself, in this clip, I found the exact weapon I wanted, and it was very strong, so I was able to challenge anybody and feel confident about it. Now these people started shooting. I took that opportunity to run and get a good angle to see what's going on after that. Alright, this guy's looting, I can hear him, but if you look at my weapons, I only have a shotgun and a sniper. Those only put me for certain situations to have a good outcome. I either need to get him into medium long, or I have to get him into short. So I'm tracking him right now. I'm thinking I'm probably going to get him with my shotgun if he ends up bypassing me. So I'm about to go when this starts happening, and I notice where those bullets are coming from. Those are not his. Those are the guys that's shooting him. So there's still another guy here. I'm like, ooh, there's even a shield potion. Shield potions, they're great bait. But I'm going to position for the next guy to come through because I know that there's still one guy left, and he probably wants to come either get this loot or figure out who killed him. He could have also thought that he died from the fall damage after he shot him and he jumped away. That's going to depend on how aware this guy is about if he's looking at the kill feed and things like that. Almost all good things in this game end with you getting a shield potion. So the guns matter a lot in this game, the archetypes matter a lot in this game, and how good you are with them and understand how their uses are is going to matter a lot. Like a gray shotgun can beat a green automatic shotgun. The pump action has more range, which means that you can just position yourself in the correct range and you're going to be able to out-pepper them with it, even though it has a slower rate of fire. If not, it also feels a lot better if you get some headshot on it. So there are different advantages to each shotgun. If there's multiple guys, you're probably going to want an automatic. So kind of picture the scenario that you're in and where your weapon is going to tie in to give you the greatest advantage. Now for a bit that threw me off, I'm like, man, was he shooting at me? And then I figured out, no, he wasn't shooting at me. There's another guy here. You're going to see that I was surprised because I didn't hear him coming at all. But this ends up working good for me just because I was able to at least recognize that he wasn't shooting at me and there was somebody else around me because of that reason. As the circle gets a little bit smaller, I'm starting to already position myself. He's going to have to get off of there soon anyways, but I want to be the first one to start setting up in the new perimeter. Now something about setting up is the thing in 1v1 that makes the biggest difference is knowing where they are. Once you know that, and obviously you're going to know what weapon do I need to choose. Do I need a shotgun, a sniper, an assault rifle? It also depends on the tier of those weapons to give you the best possible outcomes. And since he's building over there, I'm like, it actually doesn't take too much for me to flank this full fort. He ends up seeing me early, but that's okay. By then he has to jump off of his little perch and everything works out. This is before the ammo change happened. It's been reverted now, and I'm really happy it was because it doesn't make sense for the early game, but in the end game, if you've managed to accumulate a whole lot of bullets, you're able to just shoot through and shred through a lot of structures. It gives you a lot more freedom. It's nice to start being able to have bullets to clearing trees or check some bushes when it gets to the late game and the circle's small enough that you're like, I should be seeing everybody. The Golden Scar is one of the best weapons in this game. It makes me feel really confident, so I just want to get within medium range of it, and then I'm going to challenge him with it regardless. This is going to come down to how good you feel using a certain weapon. Snipers, they take a finesse touch, but if you can get into using your sniper and then switching into your AR to finish somebody, it is a very strong strategy. I suggest you start practicing the stronger, harder strategies, being able to pace out your shots as well. People don't understand in this game, like, yes, there's RNG to bullets, but practically the first bullet of every shot is going to have almost 100% accuracy. If you're not moving, if you're crouching, all these things kind of change this. I'd always take me one practice shot with this thing to kind of figure out where its range is. Obviously, if you don't use a weapon very often, it's going to be hard to actually learn how to use it. So when you do get a weapon, try to use it just so you can become familiar with it. And this goes hand in hand with just getting into more engagements. Don't camp it up. I'm telling you this because eventually you're going to need to battle people. And if you're not having enough time to get all these experiences under your belt, you're never going to be comfortable in the end game. The beginning of the game is the best place. Go to somewhere highly populated and just start getting like your game on. Start getting all this experience. I like what this guy did here. This was a perfect little trap. He just goofed it up when he reacted a little bit slow to me falling into the pit. I also heard him. So it's definitely a very viable strategy. Taking out the floors like that. There's a lot of tricky things you can do. This is a team game right here. I ended up with a bad drop at the beginning. I ended up only finding an SMG. He only found a grenade launcher. I tried to place myself somewhere where I thought I would be able to do the most damage with it. Luckily, my teammate comes and gets me. So if you're going to be playing anything other than solo, sticking with your team is a big part of it. It's actually really cool with the kind of forts you can make in team. If everybody manages their resources even decently, you're going to have enough materials in order to make really cool forts and make really nice defenses. So I really enjoy the team aspect that comes in squad modes. This guy's in a bush, but I heard him shooting after that. He should have relocated or done something. Let's see how many guys we have left in the circle. Now there is 3 of us. Now, why am I not too worried about this? I should probably be a little bit more worried, but I had already heard them shooting on the opposite end of the island. So I'm assuming that's still what's going on. I'm going to do something a little bit risky and end up making one of these bridges. If they shoot it out, what can I do? If I'm quick enough, I'll be able to make a platform below me. If I'm not, then I get stuck in the mud. So you can see where the risk is. Right now, one guy's taking a couple shots. I'm going to go ahead and just build it up here in the center. And I'm going to let them fight it out for a bit because why not? Do I always have to take all the risks? No, but I do like taking more risks at the beginning of the game because it's going to pay off in the later stages of the game. More people you say, like I said, it just means that it's more likely that you're going to be able to find more resources as well as better guns. So you can see once I feel that I've made myself a comfortable position, I'm going to get rid of this tree because I don't need it blocking my view. I want to start engaging them very soon. You can still hear them popping off shots in the distance. This again is going to have to do with your ammo management. By the end of the game, if you've been slaying and looting well, you're going to have more than enough bullets in order to start taking out structures, working down even brick walls, steel walls. All these things play a big part because at this point you're actually hoping that he's running low on resources. That gives you a huge advantage. Unfortunately, you never know that until you start shooting them down. Sometimes if you have less bullets and they have more resources, you end up blowing all your bullets or you have to stop doing that. And then technically they countered your strategy of just blowing up their structures because they had more materials and you had bullets. So little things like that are going to make a big difference. But again, the gun that you have is huge. Also, knowing the mechanics of how things work. I have some outlying walls right now that I'm hoping will be able to suck up some rocket hits. Also, if it just hits the structure, it's not going to do any damage to you. The time that the rockets do damage to you is when they have an angle that's typically higher or they're able to get it into a crack which gets it inside of the perimeter of this box you've made. But for that, they're going to need an angle from top to bottom on you. So that's where the advantage comes of that. If you make a tower that's really high, rockets aren't really going to affect you in the same way. What they can start doing, though, at that point is trying to blow out the walls if you don't have an escape route. If you set your stairwell the wrong way, you don't have a way to jump out. If you start hearing rockets that are going to be blowing out your defenses, just jump to the back of it. You're not going to take any damage. You just have to be ready to leave. Sometimes people will box themselves into their structure. That's where rockets become really deadly. Otherwise, rockets are not as deadly as you may think. Because for one, they're pretty slow and they make a lot of noise. Now, I didn't talk too much about this game, but there was a guy behind the truck, and then there was a guy that was shooting from the southwest. Now, I don't know which guy died until, of course, this guy ends up running here, and then it's over. So the guy behind the truck ended up winning that engagement, and then he came out this way. Positioning. That is going to be one of the key things, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in depth in the next video. Thanks for joining me. I'm Paper. Cut to you, and I'll see you guys next time.